Hello. Welcome to the life of a content creator. Remember, kids, stay in school, and you may be a detective prince like me. Or a video creator, whichever comes first. I better get out of here. I'm hungry for some delicious pancakes.
Coursework, financial aid, followers, copyright strikes, and more. You are listening to the Life of a Content Creating College Student podcast starring Wayne Z0207 and Charlotte Waite.
And good evening, folks. My name is Colton W. Hurst, also known as Wayne Z0207 on the internet, and I welcome you to this podcast. Due to a communication barrier, Charlotte has had dinner plans, and so she will not be able to join this episode. But I will tell you who was able to join us. We have the man who's been with us since the very beginning, GlVikingFisherman63.
That's me, folks, but in honor of Cinco de Mayo, I'm going to go by the name of Gregorio tonight in honor of my 8th grade Spanish teacher who named me Gregorio in Espanol.
All right, fair enough. So you've been with me since the very beginning, April 7th, 2020.
That's right.
The day Hearst Entertainment was created.
That's right.
And I'm sure all my traditional fans that came along before this podcast was even created, all the shenanigans, all the pranks, all the humiliations.
Well, there's been a buttload.
Yeah. Some of them came on my end, some of them came from yours, but hey, that's the fun of it.
Gotta keep it light and fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not boring.
Right. Mm-hmm. Although, someday I'd hope that you'd become my rival.
Well, even though I can't beat you at pinball anymore, either digital or conventional, I still think I can outfish you.
Maybe. I am a quick learner.
We'll see about that this summer.
All right.
I challenge you to a Diamond Lake fish-off.
All right. Alrighty then. We'll have to make time for it then. And I'm sure we will.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so welcome to episode 13, and we're nearing the end of season 1's finale. And I think I have a sort of definitive schedule that we have for the rest of the season. I think for our next episode, we're going to have Professor Mark Newport, my film professor, as our guest, and we'll wrap up season 1 with Dr. Foley, as she is retiring. I will reach out to her later on, but very soon. But let's get on with the main course. So what are two things that went well for me for the last few weeks? The production of the Advanced Technological Philosophy one has been going well. So this is going to be a little bit of a film update. My research into the ethical implications of artificial intelligence has been completed. All that's left is to conduct the interviews. I've already knocked 1 of 3 out of the way. The second interview will be just as successful, and I'm optimistic about the third one. Once I've completed all 3, I will finish the film. Then all that's left is submit it and the argument synthesis for publication. My days as an underrated creator will be over. It's been a long road. It started out with just a few of our family and friends tuning in, but then it turned into something else, didn't it?
For sure.
Mm-hmm. And by the end of our fundraising campaign, I'd have to say I created a little bit of a small fan base for myself. But someday, I hope that my recognition will go a little bit farther. And I'm hoping that day will come pretty soon. Regardless, I can't wait to share my work with the world and start my creative journey as a respected creator. I'm confident that my research will make a real impact and open up a broader discussion about AI ethics. I'm excited to see what the future holds. So, what do you think about AI?
Well, it's getting very advanced. Seeing a recent news article, you can already get image of yourself on the computer, and once you've spoken enough time, the computer learns your mannerisms and your language, and it's almost impossible to tell if it's you or the real, or it's AI or you. So
Yeah.
it's getting that advanced.
Right. I'm thinking more of the lines of cyborg robots per se, but over both of these types of things, AI works in a similar way using a process called outer entanglement. What that entails is we have an initial problem, and there's going to be possibilities on how that will go, and then potential solutions to the problem, and then whichever solution the AI takes on, that's their final output. It's the AI's advanced process of thinking.
And that's kind of scary.
How scary are we talking?
Well, the AI thinks it's smarter than humans, and well,
That's the concern that I raised.
we're talking about Terminator now.
Yes. And some of you have probably seen the concept art of the robot. You should probably check it out on my Facebook account, not the Wayne D007 Facebook page. You'll have to see what I just created. All I have to say is, what did I just create? That's the main thing. My film professor described it as part robot, part brute, part the thing. And one of my classmates classified it as naked Terminator. As silly as it sounds. Needless to say, I'm really excited for the film, and I'm also excited that we are introducing a new nephew in the family. My sister has announced that quite some time ago. Storm Chaser 541, I know you're going to go far, and I'm thrilled to be an uncle again, and I can't wait to meet him. I know my family will do everything to support him, help him reach his full potential. I'm looking forward to this upcoming chapter in my life.
Very exciting times for you, for sure, and your family.
I'm sure the second chance will be more fulfilling, and let's say I have more opportunities to utilize that chance than first go around.
Oh yeah.
I think I was given the role of that kind of responsibility a little too young, precise.
Did these things help you grow? What did you gain out of it?
I've learned the importance of family and how having strong relationships can help people reach their goals. I've also realized the importance of creating a supportive environment for the people I care about, such as with my autism awareness campaign. Boy, that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, you did awesome.
And I'm hoping
very dedicated.
And I'm hoping to start that up again pretty soon too, with the formation of the Charity Fighters Association. Boy, that's going to be a blast, isn't it?
For sure.
Anyways, I will strive to emulate this in my own life and be the best role model I can be for my nephew. With the film produced, I am sure my fame and wealth will increase. But more importantly, I am gaining skills and experiences that will help me in my future endeavors. I'm learning how to work better with others and how to manage my time effectively. I'm learning the value of hard work and dedication. These are all valuable lessons that will help me succeed in whatever I choose to do in the future. And that's especially important as creators. I mean, we went from just a do-it-yourself tripod all the way to the new technology we have right now. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. I mean, a good stream, it takes more than just a do-it-yourself tripod. There's a whole bunch of elements that are included in that, such as keeping trolls at bay, making sure none of the equipment goes haywire, and upgrading your equipment to do pretty crazy things. Needless to say, I'm getting tired of the old mic that I'm using because, for one thing, it keeps getting detached from the new setup that my dad had created, and also the audio cuts in and out. Not sure if you've noticed that in my podcast episodes. But following this episode, I will be recording to a Bluetooth microphone. This will produce better audio quality for you folks. I apologize for any of the inconvenience that this old USB Mike, has caused you. And plus, it'll be a good way to reduce the amount of cores that we have to deal with. Won't that be exciting, Greg?
Oh, for sure.
And one setback that I've come across in the past 2 weeks. What was that setback? Or 3 weeks, I should say. Well, it's been a rough battle in economics. Although I worked hard, I haven't maintained the A grade I had in the past. I received a B on one of my latest quizzes, which is a setback for me. I'm trying to get back to my A grade level by studying more and possibly recording lectures. I have yet to bring that up with the professor. I'm also working with my professor to better understand the material and improve my grades. I'm in a rough place right now, and I'm trying to stay motivated, folks, and work to get back where I was academically. But I'm confident I can get back on track with the help of my professor and increase dedication to my studies. This newfound determination, I'm sure I can get back to my A grade level and beyond.
And I am confident too. You will do your best.
I mean, we've gone through worse times than this.
Oh
haven't
yeah,
we?
way worse. Yeah, this is just a little bump in the road.
Yeah. Dealing with the copyright police, we have to agree that's way worse, right?
Well, it's kind of fun when the copyright police reach out because you're pushing the boundaries, and you're being you got caught, but they're not suing us or anything because we stop. But it's kind of fun to know that we can actually get caught by the copyright police once in a while.
But the thing is, if we continue to do this, they're going to get more and more upset.
Well, yes.
And likely arrest me, aka suspend or terminate the Facebook page.
I don't think we're going to be on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. We definitely have to avoid the copyright police.
And I have created a video essay establishing the issue of copyright law back in August. If you haven't seen that, please do check it out. It would be worth watching. And I bet you could pick up some pointers on how the copyright police are using automated systems to take down everyone's work. Not my favorites.
What is one thing you can take away from this? What is one thing you can improve upon?
Speak to your loved ones, peers, and mentors for support. Even if they don't know the material, they can provide encouragement and help you stay motivated. Additionally, don't be afraid to reach out to your professors for help. They can provide additional guidance and resources to get you back on track. Was there one time you had to do that?
Back when I was your age, of course. I definitely had to look up to my peers and professors and ask them lots of questions.
Any one particular class?
Well, I struggled with biology. There's a lot of memorization in biology. Yes. Some people have more mental capacity than others, and I just call myself a mediocre road mental capacity. So memorization, I had an issue with. But by studying extra hard and writing down things on cards before the test, it enabled me to pass the class.
If you had Quizlet back in the day, boy, you would be in such a comfortable place. I mean, I'm still happy with Quizlet. I'm not going to lie, but what I don't like was they took out gravity and they made the learn activity and the test activity limited. You can only use both of those once, and then you have to pay for the premium version. You have to pay for a free trial. And that just stinks. No wonder. I mean, they're trying to keep Quizlet free, but not sure it can stay free.
Yeah. I had to memorize the 50 bones in a fish's head.
Ooh.
There's 50 bones in a fish's head.
Wow. I memorized the entirety of the periodic table of elements.
Oh, that's even tougher. Well, that's chemistry. That's even harder than biology, I think. Yeah. Fortunately, I didn't have to take much chemistry.
But needless to say, it was actually pretty simple because I put in the practice.
Mhm.
And that is pretty important. But meanwhile, while we're going along the lines of being a college student for the recent weeks, in Humanities 235, we recently had our midterm exam. I spent the past few weeks studying for it. In addition, we watched a few films in class and talked about them. We analyzed the editing and the mise-en-scènes in each film and examined how the filmmakers used different techniques to convey the messages they were trying to get across and stay relevant to their goals. Like, for example, using metaphorical props and instrumental props.
Mhm.
The difference between a metaphorical prop is it's acting as a metaphor to what the character's emotions, personalities, or experiences are, whereas instrumental prop is something that's practical in its use. It's used for what it's supposed to be used for. Have you ever thought of it that way?
No, I can't say it as I have. It's above my grade level.
You did take a Humanities 235, which was intro to film, right?
No, I never had that class.
Ah,
Be honest with you.
shucks. But you are a film guru, right?
Oh, I remember a few Hollywood movies from
Mhm.
back in the day.
Do you remember Citizen Kane, directed by Orson Welles?
I know that was one of the most critically acclaimed films of its time.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure it won an Oscar.
It was actually one of the films we recently discussed.
Uh-huh.
We even had an essay question on it. The film is widely considered one of the greatest films ever made. We discussed how the use of deep focus and a non-linear narrative structure convey the importance of the movie's themes. I mean, the main character starts out dead.
And works back from his death.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, like,
Yep.
it's just an overall reflection of his life, told from the various people he knew, which creates plenty of bias.
Mhm.
And for Humanities 125, we are studying the ethical implications of biomedical enhancements. We will be examining the consequences of using such technology and the moral implications that come with it. We are currently doing an online reading, and we will also be exploring how its use can be regulated ethically and responsibly. And I've already explained what I was doing in writing 122 with the film, and Eco 201 with my grades, so we'll skip the explanations. All I'm going to say is we're currently typing up our annotated bibliography and presentations. We are also discussing the price elasticity of demand, market failures, and businesses, and their costs.
Mhm.
So one of the biggest takeaways from that is you gotta know which costs are explicit and implicit. Implicit costs are things that are foregone, whereas explicit are paid right away regardless. I mean, there's a lot that goes on in running a business. Not gonna lie. And so that has made things a lot complicated. But hey, what can I do?
What can you do to enhance your studies based on your experience?
Develop a study plan and set achievable goals. Break down large tasks into smaller chunks to make them even more manageable. And dedicate specific times of the day to studying and create a positive environment that encourages focus and positivity. What was one of your favorite study places, if I had to ask?
One of my favorite study places?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was out in the natural world, trying to match wits with trout, taking flies, deciding or figuring out which exact fly they were feeding on, and tying the best representation I could, reproduction, and presenting it naturally. So I fooled a species with a brain the size of a pea.
Whew. Wow. Uh-oh.
Yes, I definitely studied better in the outdoor natural.
I found myself going to the LRC most recently. I've been finding myself there more often,
Mm-hmm.
simply because of its quiet nature.
Oh,
But
yeah, that helps.
I should probably seek study groups as well. That's something I've been very lacking in, but it's something that I can improve on. Besides, I'm trying to take it easy as well. Because, let's be honest, with everything that I'm doing, I'm really am putting in a lot of work to entertain you folks. So I deserve that kind of grace. And I thank you for standing by me as I continue to find that grace and utilize it. Speaking of which, providing entertainment for you folks, what did I do as a content creator recently was I attempted to raid Deathloop's channel on April 21st. Outlook, he was offline. I wanted to meet him face to face for the first time. Yeah, but unfortunately, he was offline when I tried to reach out. He's a pretty busy person. He's actually working with Stern Pinball in their production facilities. He actually gets to produce the machines. Can you believe that?
It's hard to believe.
I've seen stories and posts about the Foo Fighters pinball machine. Have you ever heard about the Foo Fighters?
Well, yes. They came after Nirvana. The drummer, can't think of his name right now, but yeah, they've had a successful career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if I do recall correctly, Foo Fighters is a musical band, right?
Yes, that's the band that came after Nirvana. Some of the founding members of Nirvana are in the band.
Guess who made that machine?
Oh, I'm guessing Stearns.
Yes, that's the manufacturer that made it. But who specifically made that machine? Can you think of a name?
Can't think of the name of the lead singer for the Foo Fighters. Did he make it?
No.
Oh.
Dead Flip himself.
Dead Flip.
You gotta hand it to the man. He put his heart and soul into that machine. I mean, it took off stellarly, per se. I mean, like, I've seen how widely acknowledged and respected this machine is. I've seen people leaving positive feedback from it. I've seen people getting high scores. I mean, it's become all the rage on the internet. Let's face it. Well, not as much as a rage, but despite that failure to raid, we did something else. I mean, like, this is from my previous stream. Can you believe that I got this 5-year mission for a second time? I mean, like, I shot at the Vengeance and then I said, what the heck was that game? And then I shot the Vengeance a second time, and that just about did it.
Dave Grohl.
Ah, that was the name.
Oh, the Foo Fighters.
Yeah. Anyways, we shared a moment of joy when I got 1.7 billion.
And I didn't look it up on Google.
Yeah, we shared a moment of joy when I got a 1.7 billion score on Star Trek Pinball. It was a moment I will never, ever forget. I shouted out, 1.7 billion on Star Trek, baby! It was a great celebration.
That's one heck of a score.
Yep.
Well, wasn't that the all-time highest score as far as you know?
No, that's not my very best, per se.
Oh.
But
You've done better than 1.7 billion.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and I thought I'd gotten the world record, but that was refuted pretty quickly. So, anyways, it was a great celebration regardless. A big win on my part. Once I have the finished development of the film to completion, I will upload it to most, if not all, of my social media platforms. And that includes LinkedIn. I will also try to get it published into a research database at OIT. I am confident that it'll be a great asset to the research community. I'm also planning to write a blog post about making my experience making the film, sort of like a reflection. And what I've learned. This will be a great way to share my knowledge with others.
What can you do to enhance your content based on your experience?
That's a good question. I plan on including tips on how to make most of the filmmaking process and offer advice on how to make content more engaging. Additionally, I will provide links to resources to help others with filmmaking and content creation. I mean, folks, if you really want to learn how to get into OBS Studio, I have a few links. Just simply reach out. I mean, like, I am available. You can also comment on on the video, it doesn't make much of a difference, but hey, you reach out, you reach out. And so I'd be more than happy to give you folks guidance on how to set up OBS Studio. It's no big. Meanwhile, college events. What ones did I attend recently? I attended the student and employee mixer, but only briefly, so I didn't stay for the entire event. Didn't eat anything in the mixer because of my schedule, plus it wasn't that big of a dinner, or an excellent opportunity to find clients to help with using my skills as a creator. I was, however, able to get tips on landing clients or finding employment. That alone is already helpful advice. I think I also went to the softball game that happened today.
Well, yes, OIT won.
Yep, and I witnessed it. 5-1.
I'm very excited for OIT's women's softball team. I think they're going to do it again.
Yep. Meanwhile, would you mind asking me the final question that viewers have been dying to know?
I'd be glad to. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well did this help you get involved with the Oregon Tech or Klamath community, and why?
For the mixer, I'm going to be brutally honest. 5. I didn't have much time to interact with the employers because of my schedule. Plus, it wasn't a big dinner or anything. I wish I had more time to network with the employers, but I think the mixer was a good start. While I asked a few questions to the employers, it wasn't enough to get a crystal clear picture. I'm looking forward to the next business meal, and hopefully I can have more meaningful conversations with my employers. But for the softball game, I have to say a 7 or 8. It was a bit of a good chance for me to get away, needless to say, and I was able to do it on campus as well. And I really enjoyed watching the ball just flying around. There were even a few jump scares in between, where the ball was actually going towards us and it hit the net. I think I heard the ball go over a car or something.
Ooh,
Hope that person had insurance.
hit a car?
Or at least that's what I think.
That must have been a heck of a hit.
Yeah. Probably hit
Knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. Probably didn't hit a window, but maybe the roof. That should only be a minor dent. So,
Well, anyway, back to the OIT women's softball team. Everybody get out there and support them.
of course. And needless to say, they did a pretty good job. Can't complain too much. Had fun. And I'm also pretty excited for the volleyball team as well. Heard there's going to be a tournament coming up. I wonder if they're registering. Can you say for certain that they are going to?
I haven't been following the volleyball.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I just saw on the news that the women's OIT softball team is in the national championships that are being held.
Yeah.
OIT,
Yeah. But needless to say, I'm pretty excited for what all these teams are going to go through in their future.
Definitely. Oh, yeah. Support any OIT team, for sure.
Yeah. I'm not too much into physical, physical sports as much, but esports on the other hand, like pinball, that's something I get a kick out of.
Well, yes, you do mental sports.
Right.
Mental gymnastics.
Oh, yes. And I love just exploiting those machines. And I'm sure that if you put in the practice, you'll be able to get there eventually.
I'll do my best, but I don't have any chance of catching up to your league or your level. As long as you still think I'm fun and can play with you, that's all that matters to me.
I really am hoping that someday you'll become my rival. I mean, you have that potential. You just gotta unlock it. Period. No questions asked.
Well, those are very encouraging words, motivating me. So we'll see.
Yeah. Of course. But meanwhile, I'll enjoy getting the chance to, well, kick your butts. What else can I say?
That's the only way you can say it.
Yeah. But I'm sure you'll find that satisfaction when you get to my level one day. I'm sure you will, indeed. perfect timing. We were just running out of stuff to talk about, weren't we?
Getting close, but I can be pretty long-winded, so we had to make it succinct and listenable to the viewers, because you don't want to rabble on too long.
Right. Mm-hmm. If Charlotte was around, I'm sure she had a lot of questions to ask. But hey, communication barriers.
Mm-hmm.
Guess that's something we can also take away. Be a clear, concise communicator, especially when it comes to group projects such as this. Anyways, I did establish sort of a schedule that I have going on as we approach the season 1 finale. For episode 14, I'm going to try to get Professor Mark Newport on. And then for season 1's finale, we're going to finish off with Dr. Foley, as she is retiring from Oregon Tech this year.
Oh, well, definitely. That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm. What a blast that would be. Having the Dean of Students on as the final guest of the season. What a proper way to end things.
Perfect grand finale.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, thank you so much for listening. And remember, folks, there'll be disappointments in life. As humans have the power to turn those disappointments into accomplishments. Well, it's been a blast, GlVikingFisherman63.
Well, it surely has. Thank you for inviting me on your pod.
Of course. And just for clarification, if and whenever Charlotte has to disappear for some reason, like any important event to attend to or just wants to take a day off, Greg will be filling in her place whenever possible.
You bet.
So with that being said, thank you so much, folks. This is Colton W. Hurst, aka Waynesy0207, the fourth wall breaking Women Army, signing out. Good night.